Well, you say the Democratic Party is now being run by admitted socialists, and that's why you had to get out.
John Lee, the mayor of North Las Vegas, went on Fox News to announce that he is switching from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party and gave the most absurd reasoning. Now, before I get to a couple of clips here, I also have at the end of this video some amazing information about John Lee that came out a few years ago that in fact is so crazy I have to blur out part of the information, but I think you'll be able to fill in what it's about. But before I get to any of that, let me first set up this this clip. So recently in Nevada, the entire staff of the Democratic Party there quit after Democratic Socialist slate won every seat. So I did a video on this to give you more of a breakdown. You can go watch that. Nevada Democrats rage quit after socialists won every seat. Essentially, the Bernie supporters in the state took over leadership of the Democratic Party in the state, which is a great thing. You have a party in Nevada now, a Democratic Party that actually is beginning to more represent the working class. Yet, this is not how John Lee took it. So he went on Fox News to say this.
Our next guest says the Republican Party is the party of the working class, opportunity and freedom, and that's why the mayor is leaving the Democratic Party for the Republican Party. And North Las Vegas Mayor John Lee joins us right now. Mayor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. You say the Democratic Party is now being run by admitted socialists, and that's why you had to get out.
Well, I'd say card-carrying socialists. In the Democratic Party in Nevada, they had an election recently for leadership, and 4 of the 5 people were card-carrying members of the Socialistic Party. It's not the party that I grew up with 25 years ago in this environment, and it's not the party I can stand with anymore.
And the Democratic Party you grew up with was the party of the working class, but you don't see that anymore.
No, the working class, the working men and women of this country, and also the small business owners are not a part of the conversation anymore. It all has to do with the elitists, and it has to do with the socialists. That is not the agenda that I have in mind for this country of the future.
Now, what is so incredible about this is John Lee here pretends that the Democratic Socialists aren't obviously representing the working class. That is literally what socialism is all about. The working class. Yet here he is treating socialism and the elites as the same thing. When there is a fight brewing in the party, the Democratic Party, between the working class and the elites, that is an ongoing fight that is happening right now. So I guess you can say in some ways the party does represent both of those interests, but they're not working together. They are diametrically opposed. Yet somehow the Republican Party, that's the party on the side of the working class. The party that voted in unison against a wage increase is in unison against the PRO Act, which helps to strengthen and support unions. Somehow that party on the side of the working class, the party that consistently institutes tax cuts for the wealthy and large corporations, somehow that is the party of the working class. You will notice throughout this entire interview, I got the second clip coming up here. This entire interview, there isn't a single policy or thing they bring up that Republicans support that Democrats don't, that somehow supports the working class. They will not mention a single pro-working class Republican policy during this segment because there isn't one. They are completely full of shit. It is amazing to me that anybody can watch this and just take it at face value when they offered no evidence, no examples at all as to how Republicans support the working class and Democrats don't. Now, both parties, you can argue, don't represent the working class because in terms of leadership of both parties, neither do. But at the very least, there is a contingent in the Democratic Party that is fighting to represent the working class. Republicans don't have any of that. So I just don't even know where this is coming from. It's complete bullshit. But let me just first show you the what he's so angered about here. The DSA. Oh, those damn Democratic Socialists of America. Yeah, them and the elites working together. Here you have on the front page, the DSA talks about needing a strong labor movement because, of course, unions, labor organizers, this is the heart of any socialist movement. Yet, again, these morons claiming otherwise. In fact, also on the front page, they mention how, look, the PRO Act passed the House. The bill supporting unions. So I did a breakdown on that, actually, right under here. Tim Ryan goes wild, rips GOP over union bill. because the entire GOP voted against strengthening unions. Yet somehow, on the side of the working class. Now, also another example of this, Bernie Sanders leading the charge here in Alabama to support the union effort there at an Amazon warehouse. Where are Republicans? Where's John Lee? Why wasn't he down there? Because, again, he's full of shit. So here you have Bernie Sanders taking on the elites, Jeff Bezos, the elite, right here. It's all in the headline. It's obvious who's fighting for the working class and who's not. PRO Act, already mentioned. There you go. Passed the House. Senate Republicans plan to kill it. The wage increase, also already mentioned. They voted in unison against that. Now, yes, but I think 8 Democrats in the Senate voted against the wage increase as well because, as I said, there is an ongoing fight in the party for the working class and against the elites. Now, also just worth mentioning, yes, majority of Americans support the wage increase, which, again, neither party right now, to be fair, supports. Now, before I get to the insane information about John Lee at the end of this video, let me play for you the end of this interview, short interview, and it just gets, even more stupid.
Yeah, Mayor, what do people out there in the Las Vegas area think about how Joe Biden is remaking the federal government into a gigantic, much bigger jobs program?
Well, we've had issues out in the West here with COVID and with, the tourism, hospitality, and gaming industry, but we are not for expanding the government to even bigger and more intrusive into our lives. That's not what we want out West, and we're not going to accept it anymore. What
about higher taxes? They've talked about raising taxes on people who make over $400,000 a year for a couple, or corporate taxes. There are a lot of big corporations out there in Vegas.
There are, and those taxes are very important. A lot of taxes are taking out of people's pockets, or taxes that we kind of need to run our local governments and stuff. They're not giving any opportunity about families saving for their future, for their children's education. It's all about them and their socialistic values, and that doesn't work.
Real quickly, are your friends surprised you're switching parties?
I would agree that they probably are, but when you're a pro-life Democrat, a pro-gun Democrat, and you're a very conservative person, that's not really well known in the Democratic Party anymore. And so for me to hang on as long as I did, hoping the party would change, it didn't, it got worse. So therefore, I found a new place that I can put my allegiance to and help, once again, forget about the last 8 years. It's the next 4 years that predict the future.
This guy is unbelievable. At the end of the interview, he admits he's, quote unquote, a very conservative person. Then why are you in the Democratic Party? How can you complain about the party not being more conservative? Just go be a Republican and shut the fuck up. It is amazing to me the lengths that people will go to get attention. This all done for attention. Watch. This guy's gonna go and try and run for higher office. He's getting the soil ready now to by getting his name out there doing stupid shit like this. Just unbelievable to me how dumb people are. And that people even dumber will eat this shit up. Now, let me just address some points here before I get to the information here about John Lee at the end of this. But I don't even know what to say anymore. The big government BS. Oh yeah, creating more jobs. Big government. You know what's not big government? Shit like this that Republicans are doing all over the country. So a North Carolina bill would compel state employees to immediately notify parents in writing if their child displays gender nonconformity or expresses a desire to be treated in a way that is incompatible with the gender they were assigned at birth. So, making sure everyone's guaranteed health care, making sure you live, big government. Guaranteeing you a job, big government. But making sure what's between your legs matches with what we view as gender, not big government, apparently. These people are just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, let's now get to the information that I want to give you. So this came out in 2015. Again, I'm going to have to blur a word here, but I think you'll know what this is about. This from Salon, again, back in 2015. North Las Vegas mayor couldn't figure out why his iPad is full of child blank. So he had police wipe it clean. Former North Las Vegas police chief comes clean about corruption, and it doesn't look good for Mayor John Lee. More here from Gawker. The now former North Las Vegas chief of police, Joseph Chronister, retired yesterday, and with it, he's decided to reveal some of the more disturbing goings on in the force. More specifically, the fact that what he believed to be child's blank somehow just kept popping up on Mayor John Lee's iPad, which the cops then helped him promptly delete. The confession apparently comes out of remorse that the former North Vegas Chief's Department hadn't done more to investigate the mysterious case of the Kitty Blank iPad ghost. Because while the chief did assign a detective to the case after the mayor claimed the images popped up opening an email, the investigation itself only lasted a day. This is unbelievable. It is crazy to me that Mayor John Lee is still mayor. I don't know how he got away with this. I mean, I know how. They understood, the police chief understood, or the police understood how much power the mayor had over him and didn't even really investigate this. If you read more into this, it's even more gross. They didn't even find this supposed email that popped up, but they did find bookmarked links to certain pages. Yet somehow Mayor John Lee got away with it. And I guess now it makes sense, all this Matt Gaetz stuff coming out, that he fits right in line with the GOP.